Hey guys, and welcome back to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thanks for joining me. Today we are going over the electric vehicles mod along with the wireless charging station mod. They actually go hand in hand, so we're just doing both of them here. But pretty much based on the name, as you might figure, it adds some electric vehicles to the game. It adds an electric car, tank, and locomotive. Now there are some quick things to go over here. First of all, you will need the obviously the main mod, the electric vehicles mod, and if you want the wireless charging stations part of it, you will need the wireless charging station mod, which is linked in the forum or in the post by the dev on the mod portal. And then also you will need the electric vehicles lib mod, which again is linked in the mod portal post. And then you will also need the wireless charging station lib, which is linked in the post for the wireless charging station mod. But I tried it without the two libs, and I could not make the mods actually be enabled. So you will need those. Just some quick notes there, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So first of all, it does add some research. We have these induction coils, transformer, and then we have a research for the cars, tanks, locomotives, and, pretty self-explanatory. Now, this does add quite a bit. I'm going to try to, not make this too long. So, first of all, we have the car here. So, this now has the equipment grid because we're in 0.14, which is another very important note. This mod is only viable for 0.14 and above because it utilizes the equipment grids that were added to vehicles in 0.14. If you're trying to use it before then, it won't work in vanilla. I think there was a mod that adds equipment grids to vehicles, so you could combine the two, but I would just use 0.14. So there we go. Anyway, it uses these grids. So this obviously does not run on normal fuel, it runs on electricity. And there's going to be several things you need here to actually make this work. So first of all, probably the most important thing is you're going to need a transformer in the vehicle. What this does is it actually takes power from your battery or whatever's producing power and allows the vehicle to use it. If you don't have this, your vehicle just won't work. It won't use the power that's being generated or that's stored. Okay, so you will need these. You have a low voltage version. And then also, just grab one of these, we have a high voltage version. The only difference being that they will transfer and use the energy quicker. Okay, so for the car, you're probably fine just using a low voltage. So we stick this in here. And, excuse me, there's two ways you can do this. You can either have just power generation, and it will work with that without any storage. Or you can have batteries and power generation to obviously charge the batteries. It's really up to you. If we look here, we can see that this thing takes 150 kilowatts, which, if you're obviously using it, is constant. So using these would maybe not be the best idea. You would need 15 of these to make it work without batteries. A fusion reactor would be more than enough. If we stick this in here, hop in, works great, and that would be one way to go. If you do not have fusion reactors yet, you could take this out, put 15 of these in or whatever. If you put less, I think it will work. It'll just not work fully. You'll just drive slower. Yeah, you can see this is my max speed. It's flashing the fuel icon, so there's that. But yeah, you can stick batteries in here. And just for reference and kind of an idea of how fast it actually uses this, the dev wrote here, it says that the electric car can go on a single basic 20 megajoule battery, which is this thing, between 2 and 3 minutes. Okay, so this is fully charged. It can run 2 to 3 minutes on that. It says the tank won't even make it 30 seconds on this, and that the locomotive would not even make it 20 seconds. So these take a lot of power. So yeah, you can use batteries, and you would obviously just need to charge the batteries, and then the transformer here would take the energy from the battery and use it, allow you to drive. So there you go. There's that. That's that way to do it. The tank works exactly the same way, except that it takes a lot more power. So you will probably want a high voltage transformer, as well as at least one fusion reactor. One actually isn't even quite enough power, because it does 750 and this takes 800. Could throw in some batteries. You could, I suppose, just fill this with a bajillion solar panels too, and it might do okay. But yeah, so there's that. And again, just a reminder, you do need your transformer in here. If you have power generation and stuff and it's not working, you're probably missing your transformer. Or maybe you're using a low voltage one for something like the tank or locomotive, and it's just not transferring enough power. So we have those two. Now, there is another way to charge your vehicles, and this is where the wireless charging mod comes in. If you don't care about this part, the wireless charging, you don't need that mod. What I just showed you is pretty much the base mod, the main electric vehicles mod. Now, the wireless part lets you charge your vehicles wirelessly, obviously based on the name, from your power grid. So we have a power grid here of 10 megawatts worth of power. Excuse me. And for vehicles like a car and a tank, we have these charging platforms that you need to drive onto. Again, we have a low voltage or a low induction, low power, and a high power induction. Okay, now you actually need to park your vehicle on this for it to work, or at least have it touching it. So we can see here that this guy is not getting power, apparently. But let's take this out. Re-put these down. So if we put a guy on here, it should charge. Why it's not, I don't know. We do have power. Perhaps let's just it might be kind of like the steam engines, to where it actually needs something to charge. Oh, right. Sorry. We need... I'm a little oblivious. Okay, we need these induction coils in our vehicles to work. Okay, so it is like the steam engines in the fact that if there's nothing drawing power, it flashes this signal as if it's not getting power. So that is a little deceiving. As you can tell, it just got me. But that is something important to note. To actually charge from one of these stations, you need these induction coils in your vehicle. Again, you have a low power and a high power. You can have more of these, however, it's important to keep in mind that these work on kind of a 1-to-1 ratio type of thing. I don't know the best way to say that, but essentially, if you're only on one station, you could probably position this onto two, but if you're only on one, it's not going to do any good to stick like 10 of these in here, because it's only going to charge at the rate of one. And it works the other way too. If you only have one of these in here and you're parked on like 2 stations, it's only going to take the power from one because you only have one coil. So you would need 2 coils to take from 2 stations, so on and so forth. They will work together, like the different levels, so I could put a high power one in here. It's just going to take forever because this only charges at a rate. Oh, this is a high power one, I think. Okay, well, this would work. So if we take these out, you can see that it's charging it. However, these are super power hungry, okay? This takes 20 megawatts. You can see our power is actually dying because of this. So you do need to be careful with this, guys. This will consume power and charge your thing at a rate of 20 megawatts. And the first one, the lower power one, will do it at a rate of, well, it says somewhere, I think it's like 500 kilowatts, sorry. Yeah, 500 up to 500 kilowatts in the description there. Okay, so that's for these vehicles. For trains, they have their own rails, which are exactly equivalent to this. You have your low power ones, your high power ones. Now, the advantage with the train is that it can actually park on like 3 or 4 of these, so it can get the power faster. Again, considering you actually have enough power to do this, because if we hook this up, and you go into fuel here, and this is where the stuff is, we'll just take these out. We have 2 batteries in here. We have a high induction thing. If we plug this in, it's just going to kill our power grid. Again, because it's like 3 of these are pulling, which would actually be like 60 megawatts, right? Because they can each do 20 megawatts. So, sure, this is getting charged super fast, but you do need to just be careful with your power usage. Once this is charged, then again, we would need one of these for it to actually use the power, so do keep that in mind. But we would stick one of these guys in here, and he'd drive. Now, it uses a lot, right? It uses 1 megawatt, so a little more than the tank, but you can see it does accelerate really quite quickly. So it would just be smart to have these at your train stations, obviously, and use whatever is, you know, best for your situation in your power grid. However, do keep in mind that these only charge things at a rate of 500 kilowatts a piece, so you will need, I don't even know if this would supply enough to charge batteries for your train to get to the next station unless it sits here for maybe a minute or two. So do keep that in mind. Now, you don't have to use these, right? You can just stick, like, you could just stick fusion reactors in here. I could just stick, like, a ton of these, well, I can really only fit a couple here, but, you can see these are charging, just, really, really slow. So, this would work as well. And there you go, guys. I believe that's it. I don't think I forgot anything. I hope this wasn't too confusing. I tried to do it somewhat quickly, but there you go. So there's a link. There's going to be a link in the description for the electric vehicles mod as well as a wireless charging mod, and then within each of those mod portal write-ups, there's a link to the lib for each one, which I do believe you need. I could not get mine to work without those. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please do let me know down in the comment section. And if you have any mods, you know, you'd like me to review in the future, or do a spotlight on rather, let me know. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care, guys.